Okay, now we're getting ready to mix up the apples for the pie.
We already have some sugar.
Wait, hold on. What do we have here? We have 6 green apples cut, and Chris likes to cut them into pretty small pieces, about the size of your thumb. That just makes them cook easier.
Some sugar that we put in a
like
bowl. I'm gonna eat it.
Huh?
I'm gonna eat some sugar.
Some sugar, okay. All right, so now the recipe calls for a cup of sugar, but we usually use a half a cup. Can you pour the half a cup of sugar in there?
We're pouring a half a cup of sugar into the apple bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And a half a cup of sugar into the apple bowl. Shall I drizzle it or just spread it up?
Spread it all over. You're gonna mix it all up. All right, and then 2 tablespoons of flour, which is gonna help it make a sauce.
Is that good?
Mm-hmm. It's perfect.
And at the end, you'll see us another video doing a pastry.
We're gonna roll out the pie crust.
Yeah, after that, in another video, you'll see us doing a pastry.
Oh, not that much.
Yeah.
Tap some of that down or wipe it off. There you go.
As I said in the last video,
Yeah.
you can do that.
All right, now open up the cinnamon, the sprinkle side.
I want to think this. Where should I sprinkle?
Open it up, you'll see.
One side will be open, one side will have holes in it.
That's open, so this one has holes.
All right, now sprinkle a bunch of cinnamon in there.
So we're sprinkling a lot of cinnamon
Yeah, I don't actually have an amount.
until she says stop.
I like it to be so that you can have a little bit of cinnamon on every piece of apple. So, here, let me help you just for a sec.
Okay, I know how to do it.
All right, why don't you stir?
Wait, it's not on everyone.
Well, let's stir and see what it looks like when it gets distributed. And then we'll
Okay,
see if
with
we need
what?
some more.
That spoon right there.
So we're now gonna stir all this together, see what it gets like. Much different than the last one.
Let me show you a little trick.
Can you help?
Go from underneath and go over.
Actually, I know how to do it.
Okay.
And it's not a race. You can go slow.
But for a video, people want to see it.
So we probably could use a little bit more cinnamon.
Here. Wow, that's a big bunch.
Does it smell good? Tell everybody what it smells like at home.
Awesome. You're like, tell what everybody at home it smells like.
All right.
Awesome.
So we're going to get that mixed up. I'm going to pause the video and then we'll show the rolling out and the assembly. Okay, now we're getting ready to roll out the dough. So what are you going to
We're
do?
just gonna get a little, as we did in the last video, we're gonna get a scoop of flour just to make sure that it doesn't.
It doesn't need to be full. Not that much. Less.
Don't got
Dump
to do
some.
this.
Turn it over. Upside down, drop a bunch out. Right. That's good.
And we're gonna
I'm trying to
drizzle as
sprinkle it.
much
Just-
on the counter. Now I'm gonna wipe.
And I'm also going to put some on the rolling pin.
Yeah, and down.
This was my grandmother's rolling
You can
pin.
Put your hands on this, Hunter.
No,
No, that's how we do it. You
Yeah.
wipe your hands off on the pin. There you go. This is my grandmother's rolling pin, so it's
And you
super
don't wanna
old.
and you don't want to get the flour off your hands because you're going to need it.
Yeah.
You need floury hands.
Now you're going to take this disc of dough.
Unwrap it.
So we're unwrapping the disc of dough,
And you put it out.
and we're putting on the flour
It's lightly floured. You don't need it too much.
disc, and we're putting it right there.
All right, you can put a little bit of flour on the top.
And we're putting flour on the top.
Just a little bit. Just enough to make it roll out.
Branch.
And then we're going to let your dad start the rolling process. We're going to roll it out into a circle. So you're going to roll long ways one way and then long ways the other way. You can also just keep turning the disc to roll it. That's another thing people will do. You want to give it a roll, Hunter? If it gets sticky, then what do you think you need to do?
Right, go this way. All the way across.
If it gets sticky, Hunter, on the rolling pin, what are you going to do?
All right, stop.
We're gonna just
Up.
pull it up.
Put some flour on it.
Sometimes I find, because it will eventually get sticky there, pick it up, flip it over.
Put a little flour on there if you need to. Just a little. It's kind of thick on this side, so you want to roll it on this side.
Roll it this way. Put it out in the middle. kind of go a little bit towards you. Bring it back this time. And here, you're going to need to do this.
Daddy, can you
Wait.
just do this?
Okay.
I don't want to do this part.
Okay, but we also, if you stand up,
You need the
stand up.
gravity.
Stand up, then you can press down, and it'll be even easier.
Yeah.
No, stand. Now you got it.
Well, we can't get you in the frame exactly, but
Okay.
I'll try.
All right, now we need to go a little bit this way. Yep, perfect. This part is the thickest part right now. So try
Mine-
to push this one. Wait, come from here. If you and go, no, come from here and go that way. We're trying to get it sort of round.
You want to get a big circle, Hunter.
Then,
Got it.
right,
It's
all
a
right,
big
stop.
circle.
All right, we'll let Dad finish that off.
Yeah.
So my grandmother taught me to bake pies. I know Hunter's,
There you go.
Chris's
Good stuff.
parents taught him. His mom and his mom's side mostly. I think, right?
Yep. All right. We're pretty uniform on the thickness. So now we need the pie plate, which
Just behind you. You usually
And
one.
as you see, there's these little cracks there, as my mom taught me in the last video. These little cracks are little butter cracks.
Yeah. Now you're gonna fold it over.
Fold it.
Mm-hmm.
actually,
Just trying to make it easy to get up.
I never folded it over before.
Oh, I always fold it in half and then in half again.
I just pick it up. All right.
You can also put it on the rolling pin. Is another trick.
All right, Hunter. Bring it over.
Set it there.
All right, we just don't need a lot of flour on the bottom of the pie dish.
You want to make sure you cover all of.
And then you can push it in so it gets all the way into the corners.
What about all this other stuff?
We're gonna
That's
cut
it.
that off in a minute.
And you cut that off.
And we can use some of that for the pastry, but we'll use.
That's right.
We'll wait for the stuff in the second pie.
That's right.
Look, we got a bunch of a chunk here.
Yeah,
Yes.
so mommy's good at the cutting off part.
Well, so first I'm gonna.
Yeah.
Daddy can roll out the second one while you and I do the apple mixture, Hunter.
Ah, there you go.
Come on over here.
Good.
So now we're gonna pour this into there. All right.
Alright.
So here's what we're gonna do. You might need to use that spoon.
This is cool.
That's all right.
Little apple fell.
We've got stuff.
Hold on a
coming up.
second. Here. We wanna. Yeah, you actually want to kind of pile it so that it fills up. Don't smush it. You don't want to smush it because then you're gonna just be smushing your crust. You want to make it like a little bit of a tower. See, so it's like taller in the top.
Like something like a pyramid.
Yes. And then we want to dab it with a little bit of butter. So I got some butter out.
Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
You want to take some pieces of butter. Your hand's got to get a little sticky.
I don't care.
And you're going to stick it down in there. I got more.
Like right here.
You want to dot the pie with little bits of butter. So you're going to just put like a little piece there, little piece
I'm
there.
gonna smush it into the
So what happens is the butter is going to melt and it's going to interact with the sugar and that little bit of flour we put in there to create the juicy sauce.
I need to get some of this. I already put one smack.
You want to make sure it's pretty well distributed so that when it melts, it'll create a nice gooey sauce all over. So I kind of find little holes and I dab it in there.
Dad.
So 1 to 2 tablespoons of butter is what you want to do.
Why couldn't we just have got?
All right, and then we're going to put the top on.
Yay.
Ready for the top?
Let's get the top.
Looks like your dad's got it rolled out. So I'm hanging on to that knife because I'll need that knife.
Then.
So this is a little low. The apples are a little low. I actually like them to be piled up a little higher. Well, we use 6 apples, which is normally what it takes, but maybe I should have bought 7. We use green Granny Smith apples. You can mix it, but it'll be sweeter. I like the tartness of the Granny Smith. Look at that. You're going to have plenty of extra dough. All right, you hold on to the camera while I show you what happens next. Oh. Okay. I'm going to pause it.
Hey guys, we're back, and my mom's gonna.
So you see how you have
show
all
the
this
part?
extra crust?
Yep.
So we're going to just take a knife and cut around the pie.
this little cut we'll use for pastry.
And then you'll have all that extra dough, Hunter. You can make some little cinnamon, sugar.
Yeah, we'll make the tiny pastries. Tiny pastries. One that's a cinnamon sugar pastry. The other one is gonna be swirled whipped cream in the middle and Nutella drizzled around the other parts.
All right. So
It will
here
be yummy.
I
Both of them
almost
will.
have the
This will be
excess
too.
trimmed off.
I'm just gonna get a little bite. See how it tastes now.
All right. Once you have the excess trimmed off, you're gonna kind of crimp it together. So I sort of roll it and I stick my thumb in there and I go squish, squish,
This thingy
Squish.
part is the best.
squish.
And Daddy's Aunt Diane has the perfect thumb for this
That's
stuff.
right. I don't do it so pretty, but it's functional and it tastes good.
Yeah.
So see what we're doing? We're
Sorry, I was doing bad video.
We're connecting the two crusts together, and then we're just kind of making a little. It's called a crimp with our thumb, just sort of squishing it.
Squish, squish. And just so it makes it more pretty.
Well, and it keeps the pie crust together a little bit,
Yep,
so that
kinda
everything can
seals
cook.
it a little bit. So
Now, when it cooks, Hunter, there's going to be steam, and we don't want that steam to make the pie mushy. So we have to cut some steam vents.
Steam vents.
And that's what they're called.
Air vents.
Mm-hmm.
Right, that's exactly what it is.
Boom, 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 boom. Now we're going to take a piece of foil.
Okay, just for advertisement, I'm gonna show.
Are you videoing, Kevin?
Yeah.
You're going to take this
Okay,
foil and you're
yummy.
going to cover the outer edge so that it doesn't get burned. So when you bake it, you take that off at the last like 15 or 20 minutes.
Yeah, guys, it's correct.
So we're gonna bake it for for like 45 minutes with the foil on, and then 15 minutes with the foil off in a 375-degree oven.
It looks like a cloaked pie.
We're gonna put it. If you want to turn around and show, we're gonna put it on this cookie sheet that has foil on it because it might leak, and that way it won't leak into the oven.
Yeah.
A little trick I learned is, so we're gonna cook it, like I said, for 45 minutes with the foil on, 15 minutes with the foil off, and then we'll turn the oven off and we'll just leave it in the oven and we'll let it kind of slowly cool down. It seems
12
to kind of
minutes.
cook the apples a little bit more, and it gets them really warm and yummy and juicy.
It's 12 minutes.
So we can stop. We're gonna put it in the
13
oven now.
minutes.
We'll show you guys later what it looks like.
You.
Hunter's first apple pie. Okay, that's an interesting shot.